discovering if I look.
Hey, everybody, we are live on Go Comedy's Facebook and YouTube page, as well as the Let's Just Say Facebook page. We are here for Let's Just Say from Home. Please give it up for your hosts, Alex and Amy.
Hey,
thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Oh my God. I've never been so pumped to be sitting in my kitchen by myself. Welcome, everyone. This is our first live stream, Let's Just Say from home. Many of you may know this show. It's a long-running show at Go Comedy. Usually we do everything in the theater, but we can't do that right now. So this is the next best thing. We have a great lineup of storytellers for you today. Alex, why don't you tell us what the theme is?
Well, I mean, it's a theme that I keep near and dear to my heart. It's thank you, TV. TV for me was a nanny, a friend, a guidance counselor.
Yeah.
A mother,
Oh, well, yes, to different extents. I feel like that's true for most people. Yeah,
modern day fireplace.
You know what's really funny is that before the internet, TV was the big bad thing that was going to fry everyone's brains, and now it just seems really quaint. And I don't think it did any. I don't think it did any long-lasting harm. I don't know.
I mean, I have well, that's another story for another time. I have a few scars from watching the wrong TV show when I was too young and didn't know what was happening. But
yeah.
For the most part, I don't think it did. I just think people, like, radio was bad at first, and then TV was bad, and now the internet is the thing that's probably going to end us. However, TV is now a docile friend. It was always there.
Yeah. So we have 3 storytellers that we're about to introduce. These stories are at least indirectly related to TV, some more than others. So I guess, do you want to introduce the first person, Alex?
Sure. A good friend of mine. He is also on the WrestleManiacs podcast with yours truly and Bob Wick. He's also one of the hosts of a great show on Friday nights called Masks Off, and he's also on Boxed In on Monday nights. Both those shows you can check out on Planet Ant. Please welcome the captain of Keeping It Real, the handsome and adorable Jake Russell.
Yay!
What up, though? What's going on?
Thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate it.
Thanks for asking me.
Of course.
So just get right into it, I guess. Go ahead.
Well, I was actually gonna introduce the other 2 people as well because we want. Oh no, it's fine. We're winging it. Okay, so
you don't want the audience getting 2 strangers,
So we thought it might be good to at least have the other storytellers kind of as your audience, so it's not like you're talking into the abyss. So I want to introduce also another storyteller. She is a comedian, an actress, a photojournalist. Please welcome Moosh Nickerson. Yay!
What's up, Moosh?
Oh, nothing. Just at home in Ohio.
Yeah. Ohio, Columbus. She's so far away.
I know. I miss you guys. I miss Go.
Miss you. Awesome. All right. And then last but certainly not least, our final story. What was that?
Want me to take over? He's a good friend of mine. He's a good writer. He's a reoccurring storyteller. He is an excellent voice actor. I found out in one of the online tutorials from Go Comedy. And he also introduced me to the realtor who helped me get my house. So I owe this guy big time. Please welcome Dan Cantor.
Hello, guys.
All right.
Nice to be here again.
Very nice to have you. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, now, Jake, you may proceed.
Okay, now I'll go. Nothing. Okay. Cool. So themes TV and one thing. Excuse my shirt. Shirt is fucking trash. I don't know what's going on with the collar. This
You
is
look good,
terrible. But yeah, so yeah, TV is the thing. So yeah, kid, I remember being told that hey, TV's gonna fry your brain, just like Amy and Alex was talking about earlier. And we all good. One thing that I was told about watching certain things, that you keep watching this, you're gonna fuck around and break your damn neck. That's what my mom and dad would used to tell me, is watching so much wrestling, watching a lot of fucking wrestling back in the day. Anybody know me know I'm a big wrestling fan, aside from a sneaker fan or whatever. Big wrestling fan. Grew up watching WCW, WWF, ECW. And like then there was a lot. I used to get in trouble a lot, like performing wrestling moves on people, jumping on shit. I actually got dropped on my head one time by somebody. It was like, oh shit, and I was like, I pretended like I was dead so everyone could like freak everybody out, but I was cool. I was just fucking with people, but it's getting in trouble all the time, doing all type of wild shit. Like there's this group called Generation X. They used to be like their big thing was their if you're not down with that, we got 2 wars for you. Suck it. And we used to do that shit all the time in school and get in trouble, stuff like that. Like I've told suck it to like teachers and shit and got in trouble. It is of course Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Hollywood star, but got to start on WWE now. Well, anyway, but I remember I got in trouble. I remember I didn't get in trouble. I got in trouble for laughing, but one of my friends in class, he would like The Rock had this catchphrase like saying like, it doesn't matter what and whatever you're talking about. And I remember like my friend was like saying like my friend didn't turn in his homework, and the teacher was like chastising, like you didn't turn in your homework, like all this other shit. And he was like, what? Like he asked the teacher, what was the homework? He's like, and she was like, and he just cut her off real fast, like it doesn't matter what the homework is. And he got in trouble, and I was laughing so fucking hard, like curling in my seat laughing, and I got in trouble too. You know what I'm saying? So wrestling got me in trouble a lot. Got all of us, all my friends, in trouble a lot. But one thing, but I got in some other trouble that I didn't want to get into. It wasn't like authority trouble. It was like injured trouble. So I remember me and one of my friends, like we instead of like going outside for like recess or whatever, we went in the gym, and we was like me and a couple of my friends, we just like had like a little dumb wrestling match, like a dumb triple threat match. You know what I'm saying? Triple threat's like 3 wrestlers, and whoever gets 1 pinfall wins anything. So we did that shit in the gym. It was stupid, and we was doing all type of dumb shit, like like I did like a tornado DDT. I don't know how my big ass did that, but I did it, and someone got like it was crazy. We did all type of stuff, but my one friend, he I think my friend Calvin, I think it was him. Actually, it was him. He's like, Jake, I'm gonna hit you with this chair. It was like a real folding chair. It's like, Jake, I'm gonna hit you with this chair. And I was like, all right, but like maybe like wait till I'm ready, because like usually like in wrestling you get taught like if you get hit with something, you can like put your hands up like this to like act like you got hit and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some take the actual chair shot was crazy, but you can do that. It's like, all right, man, give me a chance to like get ready. And before I got ready, he just smacked me with it like, bow. I'm like, oh shit. And I fell back like, damn. And I woke up like my mouth was like full of blood. Like, what the fuck, man? Like what you like what's going on? I was scared. I was scared as hell. And I thought my teeth was gone. I thought my lip was like split open. I thought I was fucked up. I was scared. And my friend Calvin, he's like, oh shit. And then I went I ran into the hallway to the bathroom and shit. And like, it was just, I just had this gash like up under my lip. It was like fucked up. Like it busted from the inside, and it was just like bleeding like real bad. I was like, damn, it was fucked up. But yeah. And then my friend Calvin, like when he saw it, I was kind of all right. Like it was bleeding, but it was like it wasn't like stitched up bad or anything. It just I didn't need the stitches or anything, but it was just bleeding. Like, and then he was like, once he saw it wasn't too bad, he started laughing. I was like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! Like this shit ain't funny, you asshole. You supposed to wait until I had my hands up and stuff." So I don't know. I was mad, but then like a teacher walked in, saw my lip was bloody and shit, and you know I ain't snitch on my friend, you know, whatever. I didn't do anything, you know what I'm saying. I just I got his ass later. I think like later on that year I got his ass when I like pushed him down the stairs or some shit. He was cool. But, but he but yeah, man, he but yeah, that was story. That's you know, watching too much wrestling. Almost, you know, got my whole wig split with a chair. So yeah, be careful out there. If you kids out there, if you're watching, you not watching, but you kids out there watching wrestling and shit, or whatever those whatever action cartoons you watching, just be careful, man. Be careful. You know, like we don't like your parents want you. They don't want you to kill yourself, and they want you in one piece. You know, so be careful out there. So yeah, that's my story. Yeah, that's my story.
Yay!
Right.
I love the image of little Jake just getting smacked in the face with a chair just out of nowhere.
I remember all of that, even though I never watched wrestling. I remember boys saying "suck it." I remember, I remember the Rock saying "it doesn't matter." Who can forget that? But yeah, never watched wrestling, but I saw everyone else acting a fool for sure.
You learn from the references, right? It was extremely popular. Like when I was in high school, it was great. Like my sister was so upset because she wanted me to quit watching wrestling so I'd be cool in school. But by the time I got to high school, it was the most popular thing on TV. So I won. And
it's only become weirdly like you guys won. Like now wrestling's only gotten more popular, and I don't know. I guess I have to admit it's entertaining. I guess.
It's one of America's greatest cultural exports. The WWE right there. For the better or worse, it is one of the greatest cultural exports. And as far as Jake's story, I think I would title that story, "Do Not Try This at Home."
Yeah.
Right? Which I don't think we see enough on TV anymore. You know?
It actually reminds me of when I was trying to think about TV and an effect it had on me. It had kind of the opposite effect, because TV I guess made me think I was going to get hurt. I have this memory of like packing my bag for kindergarten, if you can believe it or not. I remember packing my bag, and I put in all of these, you know, like carefully, like pencils I picked out with my mom and crayons, and, you know, everything was just so. And then I also had a piece of paper that said 1-800-CALL-SAM, because anyone who's grown up in the Detroit area knows that if you fall and you need a personal injury attorney, Sam Bernstein is the person to call. And I thought this was relevant to me as a kindergartner. That was what I was most afraid of at my first day of school, was like being laid out on the sidewalk. And I remember my teacher being like, "What is this?" I'm like, "That's if I fall, I'm going to call Sam." So yeah, TV does weird things, guys. It does weird things. And shout out to Sam Bernstein, because they are thriving 35 years later. So they're doing something right, is all I have to say. By the way, if anyone has a 90s commercial memory that has really stuck with them, either you guys or people in the comments, let us know, because the 90s were wild when it came to commercials. But how about we get to our next storyteller?
All righty.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this isn't going to be a wrestling story, but who knows? I introduced her earlier, but again, she is a comedian and a photojournalist. Please welcome Moosh, all the way from Columbus.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, just aside, 1-800-CALL-SAM is not that hard to remember. That's my favorite part of the story, is you had to write it down.
Listen, I was expecting to maybe be blacked out. I don't know. I was expecting a serious injury.
A concussion that lost your memory for 1-800-CALL-SAM.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I guess sort of related. I work in local news, so injuries, car accidents, shootings, stabbings, that's all stuff that is like my day-to-day life. I'm a photojournalist, so I take a big, heavy camera with me. Aside, I'm noticing like how built this shoulder is. This is my camera shoulder. This one's like slopey and down. It's like driving me crazy to be on Zoom and looking at myself and being like, oh yeah, that's what I've done to myself over years of holding something. So I hate Zoom, by the way. So, all right. So, weird. And it shouldn't be so weird too, because it's like I work with people on TV all the time. Like this is bread and butter shit, but it's weird to see myself. I'm behind the camera. So a lot of people get into this job for adrenaline, and I'm really good under pressure with adrenaline, but like I didn't do it for it. I mostly did it for health insurance reasons. And let me tell you, the last station has treated me well with health insurance. Like so well that last year, it was like the last year, I guess, or the year before. It's everything blurs together too when you're like, again, car accidents, stabbings, shootings, it all blurs together. You're standing on the side of the road. I work early mornings, so like 3 a.m, it just blurs together. But great health insurance to the point where like after a really bad winter, I managed to like get down with myself like at my like deepest, saddest point and being like, you know what? The most American thing I can do with my health insurance is like 15, 20 years after my trauma, just deal with it. Go to therapy, figure this out for real. So I did this program that I had an individual therapist on a weekly basis, a phone number I could call if something weird was going on, and then group therapy. And group therapy like freaked me out. I like totally ghosted the first night. I was like, I can't do this. It's so weird to just go in and talk to a group. It's kind of like this. It's like everyone's sitting, and I could talk to an audience that's, you know, standing above the audience on a stage. You got the lights. You can't see anyone's faces. But like sitting and being personal is so weird and different. So I ghosted that first time, and then the second time I finally show up, and I get there, and they're not cruel. They like put me in, not first or second, but like still right up there in the beginning of the rotation. And the whole process was rate like your highest emotion of the week, and then also currently sitting there. So currently sitting there, I was at like a 6. I was really high in that, like, I don't know these people, and it's crazy. And then I'm hearing all these stories from daily life, and I know as I'm hearing their stories and listening to my own story or my own week replay in my head, and like, oh crap, I'm gonna be such a drama queen. Like I don't want to be a drama queen. I'm gonna be a drama queen. And because that emotion that week was on 9 and brand new, and 9, I don't want to be that person, but I was. And I kind of tell everyone that, and everyone's like, okay, well, like, do you want to talk about it? And I was like, well, no, but okay, well, I guess you need some background. Like I'm a photojournalist. I run a camera for a local TV news station. And yesterday I was at the scene of a murder, and like not just a normal murder, but like one out in the country. So like an hour and a half down into cornfields where like people actually know each other. And like, this isn't like a random act of violence necessarily. But we got there and we parked our cars at like 5 a.m. when it's dark, and we can't even see the cops. Like we can't even get police information, official information about what happened, because we're parked on gravel, and all you can see is like this driveway and all these signs that say no trespassing. So we're like, play it cool. We got 3 stations out, just waiting for information all morning, going live. Hey, we have no information. Nothing's been confirmed, but stand by. Keep tuning in. So we're there all morning. My show ends at 9 or 10, depending on the day. And then that day we had a noon. So between 9 and noon, we're just chilling. We're waiting for information. And around 11:30, about half an hour until our live hit at noon, This dude rolls up in a giant truck and he just starts screaming. He's screaming at the other station, so I feel pretty cool. And I like put the car in drive and I just like scoot out of there. And we find a different road to park on. And we're going to have to go live from the side of the road. So we're parked. We got like, you know, half an hour, 20 minutes. I get everything set up as much as I can. I like hook a camera up to a cable to a thing that goes live. And it's in the back of my car. And my reporter's writing her script, and I'm just like messing around on my phone. And dude comes up to my window and he knocks on the window, and it's that guy, and he starts screaming, and we're like, hey, and I can't tell you exactly what he said because it's all a blur, but in general, people yell at me on the street is media's evil. I hope you die. You're the worst. What you're doing is immoral and wrong, and again, you're evil and you should die. So I'm sure what he was screaming was along those lines. And he's yelling, and I'm like, okay, well, we're on public property, so we can be here. I appreciate that you're upset and you're hurt and that your family has suffered a tragedy. So we will move down the road. But he doesn't leave. And he's just continuing to yell and yell, and then he gets pissed off at my phone because he thinks I'm recording, which is also legal. You can record in your car an interaction with someone. And he's still not leaving, and now we're like 10 minutes out. I'm like, we really have to go do our job. Like, we promised once we do our job, we will leave. Like, we have no intention of staying here all day. And he won't leave. So I like reach into my center console, I grab a business card and I hand it over to him. And I'm like, hey, so this is who I am. This is where I work. This is the phone number for like anyone. Just like give this to the cops, call it for my boss. Just, we need you to go if you want us to go. And he finally goes back to his car. He waits us out. We drive down the road again. We're like right up against the highway, like really playing it safe. Like we are far, far away from the house where the crime happened. And we're like, and I park even like, there's a stop sign 20 feet back, like following all the rules. We are like 3 minutes out. I want to say 5, but it was close on. It was like 3. And he rolls up again, and he's right at the end of my truck, and he starts revving his engine. And I'm like, I'm holding that big ass camera I was telling you about. And I was like, what do we do? And he's screaming and he's moving his truck. And I was like, wait a minute. He might actually kill us. So we don't have to be here. So like down and like I'm screaming at my reporter who's like down the road by the highway. I'm like, we're not doing this. Like, we don't have to be here. He wants us dead. And we bail. And that whole time, my stress level, if we're like doing the rating scale from therapy, it was like a 2 or 3. It was like not crazy. But like when we got back in the car, we both started freaking out that we were going to get fired because we bailed on our shot. Like, we weren't there. We did not report the news. And in the back of my head, I know like this guy would have kept screaming at us on live TV. He would have like thrown F-bombs. We would have gotten fined. Like, there's just so many things that could have gone wrong, up to killing us or like running us over or hitting us or like hitting the car. So, but we were still freaked out about losing our jobs. And the whole time I'm telling the story in therapy, I'm just freaking out. Like, this is bad. I'm the drama queen in therapy. I'm the one-upping everyone. My story has to be better than everyone else. This is, oh my God, like, who am I? They're not going to want me back because every time I come in, they're going to be like, this bitch has a crazy ass like overrun like group therapy. But instead, everyone's just like, yeah, that was scary. Like, that's legit. You did the right thing. You got out of there. Like, sometimes I was like in therapy for emotional dysregulation, so overreacting to emotions, I guess. But that time, emotions high matched the stakes. Like, it was pretty spot on. That was a good lesson from therapy. And then even going back to work, I found out they had been recording that whole time. So there was audio of that entire interaction. So like it just like circulated around my coworkers, and I would like get these comments like, wow, that was crazy. Or like someone was like, that was so badass. You like gave him your business card. I guess like in the face of danger or murder or whatever, or just like getting smacked by some dude, my response is, here's my business card, here's my name, here's my phone number, here's the address you can find me at. Just find me. So you find me at the TV station. Thank you, TV.
Thank you, TV.
Wow.
Wow. Moosh is
I've
my hero.
never heard of anyone be described as badass for getting a business card before. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
But it's real. Hi, Pete.
Hi guys.
Producer
Oh
Pete.
my gosh. Yeah,
I think they'd make a
Wow.
statue of you in Japan for doing something like that. I don't.
So calm.
Yeah, that's like the most subtle baller move I've ever heard of.
Yeah. It makes me want to get my own business cards and see if that works, but that might have just been a one-time thing. I don't know.
Yeah, my dad worked. I remember my dad. He was a lawyer, and before that, he was a cop and a journalist and all this stuff. So, like, I remember one time he was running for like an office, and he was on like the local TV, and they had like the 3 people running for whatever judge at the time. And the only thing I remember is, I think it's because of I was pretty young, and I just remember the reaction that I got this answer got in the room, because they were doing like the little, almost like just the little panel of questions. You know, everybody would go one at a time, answering the same question, and then they go back the other way. But they asked about like spousal abuse cases, and like the first 2 guys gave these very political answers, and my dad just goes, "Maximum sentence every fucking time." And like the whole room, like especially the women, just all popped. They, hell yeah! But
Excellent.
He's like, I ain't got time for it. I just remember, like, and I remember the news host. She was like a friend of the family, and I just remember her eyes kind of got real big, and she was like, "Anything you want to add?" I got no time for it. I got no time for people like that. So,
That's amazing.
that's my local TV story. But all right, want to get to the last storyteller?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to bring it home?
Yeah, Danny Boy, Dan Cantor, the writer, voice actor, or studying voice actor and comedian, and excellent referral of realtors. Dan Cantor.
Hey there, guys.
Yay.
Hey. So, I'm standing backstage left in the iconic Radio City Music Hall stage, and it's been a long day of rehearsal. I've been there about 7.5 hours, and in 10 minutes, I'm going to meet Laurence Olivier. This goes back a few years, 5 years out of college. I was off in New York pursuing my career in theater production, TV production. And here we were in our camera rehearsal, essentially a final dress rehearsal for a major network TV special that was going to air on ABC prime time. And it's a fundraising thing. They titled Night of 100 Stars. And the format of this show was the old TV format known as a variety show, where there's different segments. It's generally all light and entertaining, but it's a combination of different songs, musical numbers, an occasional dramatic scene, and maybe some talent expositions as well. But our producer was so gung-ho to make sure that people would pay attention to it. He didn't stop at getting 100 stars. We had 306 different individuals who were on-screen talent that were going to be crammed into this 2.5-hour Sunday night primetime special. And that talent, those stars, happened to be a busload of people that you would know from movies, from TV, from sports, from fashion to just general culture. And it was this extreme range of people that would fill a year and a half's worth of People magazines for the celebrity type that were there. And I had gone to New York to work on serious theater. And frankly, I didn't care that David Hasselhoff was going to be part of our cast. That didn't really excite me too much. I mean, it was kind of cool to meet Lucille Ball, but there was one segment that we were doing dedicated to film and Hollywood. That one I was interested in, and I'm working as an assistant stage manager, so I'm helping run stage left, making sure people are at the right place, scenery goes where it has to go. This Radio City Music Hall stage is one of the biggest darn stages in New York City. The theater seats, I don't know if it's 8,500, something like that. It's huge right there in Rockefeller Center. Home to the Rockettes, I may add, if you're not familiar with what else goes on there. So we're filming this. This is going to be a taped live show, but we need to do a rehearsal before we go into the live taping the next day. And the way it was working, there were segments showcasing music and jazz musicians. We had, like Lena Horne and Wynton Marsalis and Sarah Vaughan and all kinds of classic jazz performers. They had TV people from all of the hit shows that were there. I didn't give a darn about those segments, but the Hollywood one, I wanted to make sure I connected with some of those people because gosh knows that was where my career was going to go. I wanted to meet them. And frankly, the lead star in the bundle of celebrity actors that were there was Laurence Olivier, getting older in years at that point. So he wasn't going to be around a lot longer. I wanted to meet him. He worked on great theater. So we're all set. The schedule at 7.5 hours and going through some other stuff and making sure the scenery moves for other skits and scenes. And I know that we're going to start the Hollywood thing in 10 minutes. I'm going to be seeing him, and it's terrific. And just as that thought hits me and I'm confirming on my clipboard what our schedule is, and I'm on headset and hear how things are flowing, the head stage manager comes up to me. He says, we need to shift some things around. So I need you to go to the side door and bring in Robbie Gasser. Well, I didn't know who Robbie Gasser was, and I was ticked off that I might be missing some of the Hollywood people. So the stage at Radio City is 3 floors below street level. So we take the elevator up or stairs. I'd get out to the side door of Radio City, and I'm looking and seeing this small sort of Winnebago truck. And it's like, okay, I knock on the door and say, is Mr. Gasser there? Are you ready? We need you on stage. The door opens, and this little Swiss guy with speaking French backs out of his Winnebago holding a silver bucket of fish. And he is followed by 2 very large sea lions. This guy's going to be the seal act in our variety show. And it is just insane. I'm, just biting my lip because, damn it, I wanted to meet Dustin Hoffman. I wanted to meet some of these other Academy Award-winning actors that we had that night. Robert De Niro, for God's sake. And I'm with the SEAL Act. So I'm leading Robbie and his SEALs into the building. And I say, well, we can just stand here. The freight elevator can be here very quickly. And he says, oh, no, they don't like elevators. We'll take the stairs. So this thing, the production had so many stars in it. We had security up and down the wazoo. I mean, big, beefy guys at every exit, up and down on every floor. And they all were trying to be cool, but they wanted to see all those hot Hollywood girls, the athletes that were there. We had top NFL players. We had the 1984 men's gymnastics team. It was insane. But these guards tried to look like they were cool, but really wanted to see who famous was coming around. So I'm leading Robbie down the stairs, and he's going backwards with that bucket, leading his two SEALs, and they're going the-bump, the-bump, thump down the metal stairs. And we have to do 3 flights of it. And at each floor, you see the security guard looking tough, and he's like looking around the corner. It's like, man, who's coming down with such a posse, man? And then here comes this French guy, little mustache, and a bucket, and his SEALs. It is hysterical. Each floor we go, and the different stagehands were doing it too. It's like, who's famous coming? Which entourage? So we go down our 3 floors. I get Robbie to the stage, and I'm like, damn, I missed the whole Hollywood group of actors that were going to be doing their thing. It's like, darn it. But I do my job. I get Robbie to the stage, and he and his boys do their honking and ball twirling. They do their thing. And I get back on headset, and they say, yeah, we had to delay the Hollywood thing. We had some problems with the fly crew and the set that we were going to use, but we're going to be doing that in just a while. You may see some of the guys coming downstage left. Just tell them to cool out. We'll be with them shortly. And it's like, really? The SEALs didn't take me away from this possibility? And just then I turn and I see this elderly fellow walking towards me with a cane. Nobody else is over there. It's just me and this elderly guy that was Laurence Olivier. And he walks up, and I offer him a chair and saying, we're not quite ready for you yet. And we start talking. He's, starts making some comments about backstage and how much he loves the live theater. And I'm just eating it up, Mr. Theater. And then out comes Dustin Hoffman. And the two of them have a 15, 20-minute conversation. And I'm the only one right there with them. And they bring me into the conversation a little. And they hadn't seen each other since they worked on that film. I think it was Boys of Brazil, where Olivier played this evil Nazi dentist, and he drills down into Dustin Hoffman's mouth in this horrible scene on film. But it was really cool. So things started moving. We ended up doing the Hollywood bit. I had the extra treat, not just of doing that, but because Billy Crystal couldn't make it to the rehearsal, they brought me to be a stand-in in the kick line with the Rockettes, along with Marvin Hamlish and Charles Bronson and Matt Dillon, and Jimmy Stewart was part of that. I mean, it was nuts. So thank you, television, for allowing me to be part of this circus, this extravaganza. Just other insane things happened, but the SEALs and watching people turn, hoping to see which star. It was the most hysterical part. And it reaffirmed my understanding that I don't care about People magazine. It's all well and good, but the show must go on. And that's my day with television. Thanks.
Yay!
Wow.
That had so many twists and turns. I thought it was over so many times, and then it just got better.
Yeah. Yeah. More things kept happening. It was like a Tarantino film or something. It just kept getting more and more complex, but get better at the same time. I think that's one of my favorite things about this show, though, is like half the time, almost every time I've come to watch one of these, they were live. You know, there's always somebody has a story that you're like, no freaking way. Like that happened in real life, right? But like as unbelievable as it is, as it sounds, or as funny as they are, like these are all real life stories. So maybe it could happen to you one day. Well, not with the Lawrence Olivier Abe or Seal, but something could happen to you.
That's it for this first live stream experiment. I think it went pretty well.
I do too. I like it. I like seeing faces again and hearing the stories like as they're being told. Yeah, right. Oh,
absolutely. Before we go, I do want to say that if you would like to support Go Comedy, there is a link in the description of this video. And if you click it, you can buy a support ticket to help the theater during this very extended closure. And also, I want to maybe hint at, we've been thinking of some other themes for upcoming shows. So, should we say some of them or?
I don't have a problem letting the secret out if you don't.
Okay. Well, we're just thinking of other things that might lead to some crazy, crazy stories. The next episode of this, the theme is going to be on the road. So if you have any sort of road trip stories, we'd love to hear them. We're also going to do an I Love Rock and Roll episode. So if you have any stories related to anything involving music, we want to hear them.
Stories, come on.
So many good stories. And the way you can do that is you can email us at letsjustsay@gocomedy.net. You can comment in the comments of this video. You can holla at me if you see me, or at Alex
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Or post on our Facebook page. Yeah, anything.
We're very reachable.
I think we forgot one though, which is one of my favorite. I know it's one of your favorites too, though. Because there's a special episode that's gonna probably fall in between the other two. This is September, right? We're in September, right?
I think so. Yes, I think we are.
It's not June. It's September. Okay.
It's
Halloween. We gotta have a ghost story show.
Oh my God. Okay, I really didn't remember that. And yes, Let's Just Say is in its third year, and every year since it began, we've had a ghost story show. It's always my favorite show of the year. And especially because we're remote right now, sky's the limit of who wants to, dial in and tell us what they got in terms of spooky, scary things that they've been through. So all of that and more, if you know anyone who might be interested, please let them know. Other than that, anything else, Alex?
No, it was good seeing you. Good seeing everybody. It was a lot of fun. And big thank you to Pete for being the producer behind the scenes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jake Russell. Thank you, Moosh Nickerson. And thank you so much, Dan Cantor, for your wonderful stories. We'll see you all next time.
Until next time.